Shalom. I want to start off by saying all praises and honor and glory be unto Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, Ba'Shem Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone, whom I have learned this truth from, who rule well. And salutations unto you, Akim and Aquathim, that take heed in sincerity and in truth. Coming back once again to the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai. I was out and about today doing some errands, and I visited a herbal store that I've been going to for years downtown, and there's a certain line of products that they carry, and it's actually probably one of the only stores that I've seen, because I've been to multiple organic or quote unquote health food stores, and I've never seen this product. And what product I'm talking about is it's made by a herbalist called Dr. Christopher. Okay, he's I would deem him like a master herbalist, because he got a lot of people using that title. But when I just to kind of get into it, not too deep, but when I first got into herbs, my first purchase, I got a book called Back to Eden, which was a very good book. You can read it and get a good understanding and even start making your own little concoctions, which is what I did, and then gain experience. And it gives you a pretty good basic foundation understanding of herbs. But after that, I branched off into other things, the Most High, the Spirit showed me. But when I found this, this is a website you can go on, Herbal Legacy, right? Dr. Christopher, you can read here. It says Dr. Christopher created more than 50 herbal formulas that have exacted almost miraculous healings. And there's also testimonials that they mention, and you can read that. And you can read about him later. I'm not going to read about him, but he's very deep. He actually has seminars online, and I don't want to hear about, Edomite this, and I don't know what he is, but I do know he's a healer. And I do know throughout my years I've been studying herbs, which is probably a little over 10 years now. This dude has it. And the way he has his formula set up, the way everything is set up, it's proper, okay? You know what I mean? It's proper, man. It works, and it's intended for that specific thing. And as you can see, there's a bunch of things: adrenal formula, antispasmodic formula. And when you click these things, I like this website because it actually shows you what herbs he uses and why, right? Like, he has this formula, and this is what I came to get. Come to my knowledge, they told me that they had to discontinue it. And they said they don't sell it anymore. And I said, wow, there used to be a whole shelf of all these formulas, which you'd have to get online usually, but they carry it. So, I'm walking through, and then I asked the old man after, because, it's bugging in my head. I said, so why don't you guys, I came for a certain thing. Why don't, because I asked for the green powders, and there's a bunch of green powders, but this thing, Jurassic Green, which I'm going to click in a moment, I asked, why don't you guys carry it anymore? He says Canada banned it. He said Canada banned it, and you can't get anymore. I said, motherfuck this place, man. To hell with this place. That's why Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai has to destroy this place, man. This place I mentioned this Saturday through the Spirit. It wasn't me that said it, was the Spirit. We're just living in one big witch coven, man. And they just want to push their toxic ass drugs upon you, and you be their little experiment. Really, you're just under a spell. But look at this, man. Jurassic Green, right? And this is a little info because it's a small product, meaning it's not complicated. A blend of alfalfa, barley grass, and wheatgrass, herbs grown organically in virgin soil and separated from urban and agricultural pollutants by the same mountains that provide its pure source of water. These herbs reduce acidity, which maintain homeostasis, right? Which is a balance in your system, provide needed chlorophyll and wholesome nutrients to the body. When you research alfalfa, that's one of the most herbs that Esau, that's one of the biggest herbs that Esau went after in terms of GMO, try to alter because it's such a king, it's such a powerhouse, man. But they mix also barley and wheatgrass, and I trust the process in the company from a herbal standpoint. This is not some green juice smoothie. This is not a a health commercial. This is not a sales pitch. This is a herbalist, which he has, as you see, many other herbs, man. For example, let's look at the lymphatic formula, your lymphatic system, right? This is this formula can be made up in a tea form or as a tincture, syrup, or ointment, as can most of our formulas, right? This wonderful formula kills infections, clears toxins from the lymph system, and is a natural infection fighter, right? So it gives you information, and some more than others, you know. But this is great, man. This has a lot of information, like the adrenal formula, which a lot of us can use. See, it shows you the usages, dosages, ingredients, and it shows you why they use it. See all these herbs: the cayenne, the ginger, hawthorn berry, gotu kola, Siberian ginseng, mullein, and lobelia, right? And it shows you why. So, good site, generally if brothers don't know it, and you want to kind of read up on herbs and different ailments, go to the site, Herbal Legacy. But after he said that, man, I said, man, this place is messed up, man, you know, because this is a natural way of healing, and they banned it, you know. This is obviously an American company. So check this out. I went on Investopedia.com. What country spends the most on healthcare? The United States currently ranks highest in healthcare spending among the developed nations of the world. And yes, we're not in America, but we're in North America. And America is Babylon the Great. Canada is this little bitch. But, it's still part of the beast system, right? According to data released by the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, OECD, in 2018, right? The U.S. was a staggering $10,000 per capita, right? Luxembourg had the second highest healthcare budget. So America spends the most on its healthcare, okay? Here's the list. You can see where where Canada is. But they're one and the same. Check this out. U.S. healthcare ranked worst in the developed world. Medium.com, 2018. The United States healthcare system is the most expensive in the world, with an annual spending of $3 trillion, or $9,523 per person, accounting for 17.5% of the gross domestic product. So that's almost a quarter of what America makes, which is what the GDP is, or what the country generates each year, right? It spends almost a quarter of that on its healthcare system, but it's ranked the worst. So you can clearly see there's a problem, man. But you know what? A lot of people can't see it because you're very well fluoridated. You're drinking the Kool-Aid, so to speak. Right? So where does this leave you, man? Let's go to Job 13:4. It says, "But ye are forgers of lies, ye are all physicians of no value." Right? You doctors, right? You MDs, you very well prestigious and honorable men, right, of medicine. You guys are all really physicians of no value, right? Oh, that ye should altogether hold your peace, and it should be your wisdom. Really, you shouldn't say anything, man. You should just shut the hell up. That, you know what precept is that? That's in the book of Proverbs. Even when a fool holdeth back his tongue is counted wise. But you doctors, you'll have a person come to you, and they'll give you symptoms. Oh, I can't sleep. I can't this and that, and you'll diagnose them. You'll make up a disease, when it's really you got to follow pathology, which is the pattern, not the tracing of the symptoms, going to a certain problem in the body, and the root of the problem usually goes to the endocrine system, which is our hormonal system, or our gland system, right? Which is the liver, that's a gland, thyroid gland, pituitary gland. All these glands produce hormones, which hormones regulate everything in the body, every action, right? So you guys say, oh, there's a disease called delayed onset of sleep, because a person can't sleep. But you are not tracing why, as to why he cannot sleep. The body regulates sleep. The body has, like I said, the pituitary gland, pineal gland, producing melatonin, serotonin, right? So you are all, let's look up that word physician, man. In the Hebrew, which is rapah, which means to heal, make healthful, to heal, of the Most High, healer, physician. You have not heard of anything being cured. Matter of fact, you cannot use the term cure. When you look up, for example, black seed oil, when you order black seed oil, whether you get it in here, Canada, or you order it online from America, if in America it tells you this product has not been uh, um, this product has not been regulated or evaluated by the FDA, Food and Drug Administration, and is not intended to cure, treat, or diagnose any disease. In Canada, we have Health Canada, okay? And you've seen where Canada ranks. So there's nothing healthy about Health Canada. These people have you under a damn spell, man. They give you one drug, which that drug can give you other symptoms, right? I knew an older man. An older man. He had high blood pressure, so they put him on high blood pressure pills. And about a couple years later, he developed diabetes, which was one of the side effects of the high blood pressure pills. And you know what they did? They gave him more pills. I forget if it was type 1 or type 2. If it was type 1, then that means your body stops making insulin, which is a hormone. And one day without insulin, you die, because insulin is the one that takes the glucose in the blood, right? You can't have too much glucose in the blood. You need the glucose taken out and stored for energy. So you need insulin shots. And some people have to pay for that, which is very expensive. And like I said, you will die if you don't get your insulin shots. You know, so Yahweh Shemio Shai Shalak Rayam La Babal, you know, to this damn wicked place. Babakusha, Aman. You know? This place is wicked as hell, man. And you people are just living like, yeah, my doctor gave me this, and yes, I received this pill, and listen, I know people, man. They tell me straight up, I love taking my pills. My doctor gives me my pills. I have my pills. I have my cabinet. I have my pill rotator. I love it. You can't, what can you say to a person like that, man? Right? And then let's look up no value, because this is good too. Right? The word is alayal. Alayal, which means of not, good for nothing, worthless, of physicians, a shepherd, a divination, of false gods. Because these people, like I said, they deal with the pharmaceutical system. So I found this website. That brings out some good information. Right, this is from pathwaytopeace.net. Right, I guess he's a Christian, but hey, man, some of these Christians, they dig deep too. And, you know, it's just information that floats around. That's why they call it research. You never hear of, oh, we're searching for this. You always hear we're researching, because the information has been there, but it's either been lost, destroyed, or hid, right? And he starts off, Revelation chapter 18 gives a description of the fall of Babylon, right? Which, I don't know if he knows Babylon the Great is America. And in verse 23 gives us the reason why all nations were deceived. This may be shocking for many people, right? And he reads it, which we're going to skip over, right? The point is the sorceries, which you brothers know the scripture. By the sorceries of Babylon, all nations were deceived. The Greek word for sorceries in verse 23 is pharmakia. According to the Thayer Greek Dictionary, pharmakia is the use or administrating of drugs. So hold on, the Food and Drug Administration. The drugs are in the food as well. The drugs are the food. The food is drugs as well. So that means the Food and Drug Administration is nothing but an administration of sorcery. But you people stay stupid, man. Okay? And it says poisoning. These drugs poison you, man. You have antipsychotic drugs. Have you ever watched the bipolar depression medication commercial? Warning: side effects may include thoughts of suicide, depression, right? Weight gain, all these medical problems. You know, poisoning and sorcery, magical arts, often found in connection with idolatry and fostered by it. If you put the original Greek word pharmakia in place of the English word sorceries, the end of verse 23 would say, "For by thy pharmakia were all nations deceived." Pharmakia is where we get our English word pharmacy. Pharmacy is a well-organized and professionalized system that administers poisonous drugs. You can go to a pharmacy, over the counter, ask, "Can I get a Tylenol too?" And all they ask you is, "Yes, sir." If you look young enough, they might ask for ID, but all they say is, "Do you have any questions, sir?" That's all they ask you for. And Tylenol 2, I believe it's Tylenol 2, they got codeine in that shit. They got codeine, and you can easily overdose on that. You can get high, and this is over the counter. There's no prescription, right? Either Tylenol 2 or 3, but there's codeine, and it's over the counter, no prescription. There's a stronger one which you need a prescription for, because that shit will knock you on your ass, right? It says, the Bible reveals that Babylon will deceive all nations by the use of pharmacy that is in connection to magical arts and idolatry. And it's not just the pharmacy, but the pharmacy is a big chunk of the pie, piece of the pie, right? Because there's different forms of witchcraft. There's this witchcraft, which is the actual administering of drugs. But then there's actual rituals, man, and deep shit, dark shit. You know? Like the new Sabrina show on Netflix type of shit. If you watch that show, they actually sacrifice people there for the demons, right? You people are a bunch of demons anyway. You women, you're on demon time, right? That's what they say. But you are what, starting with the apostles, have always said. You're a succubus spirit. For anybody that knows demon time, you know what that means. But the analogy is that they're demons, man, and they drain the energy out of you. The life force, man. All right. Magical arts has its deep roots in witchcraft and the occultic world. We don't have to do a deep Bible study to know that Satan is directly behind the magical arts, and God's people should have nothing to do with it. Down here it says, pharmacy mainly uses a mixture of toxic chemicals, metals, and or synthetic elements to produce pharmaceuticals that are designed to manipulate the biochemistry or metabolic functions of the body in an attempt to get a desired effect in the treatment of a disease or sickness. Now, very important to know, when you brothers hear that word metabolic, if you want to talk about anti-aging, wellness, function, functional strength, meaning you're 70 years old and you pick up a bag of groceries and your wrist doesn't hurt. You got to be in an anabolic state. Majority of us are in a catabolic state, which is a breaking down, which is stress, which is not just stress like, I had a bad day at work. It could be environmental stress. It's the radiation we're around. It's emotional stress, pharmaceutical stress, the stress you place on your liver and other organs when you take these drugs. Listen, remember they mentioned the use of chemicals, metals. When you use deodorants, there's aluminum in there. We have aluminum foil. When you use toothpaste, there's fluoride in there. These are all, look, man, you're being attacked, man. We're being attacked from every angle. You have the chemtrail metals falling on you. We're all messed up, man. And this is part of why we need the Lord. You're not gonna go vegan and transform to Super Saiyan level 2. All right, brother, that's not gonna happen. Okay? You're gonna try to do the best of your ability to eat wholesome, nutrient-dense foods. Take the herbs, which I always push, brothers. Take herbs, whether in capsules or tea, tincture. Very strong way to take it. Powerful and effective. And pray to the Lord, man. That's the main thing. Pray to the Lord. Or you're not going to be praying to the Lord eating McDonald's. That's why I mentioned those things first about changing your diet. You know, getting a quarter pounder with large French fries and a double 2 times Coke. You know, double XL Coke, and then praying to the Lord for health, man. You gotta consciously make those steps, man, and decisions. Does that mean we don't have pizza or wings once in a while? You know, of course not. So you want to be in a metabolic, meaning you are constantly reproducing. If you're in a catabolic, you're destroying, and every single prescription drug, pharmaceutical drug, pharmakia, sorcery, poison, fucks up your metabolic system. It actually increases catabolic state, not anabolic. Right? Sleep, man. Sleep in between 10 to 1 is when you get your most healing done. 10 to 2, I would say. 10 p.m. to 2 a.m. Hey, man, some brothers live in places where it never sleeps, right? You gotta work or do what you gotta do. We're just up, you know? It says, in other words, pharmacy mixes up different types of poison, package it, patent it, and claims that it can treat certain types of diseases. And this is the allopathic system. It treats symptoms, not the root cause. Right? When poison is put into the body, it has negative effects on the entire body system from head to toe. These are not just side effects or unintended sicknesses or diseases that a person suffers as a result of using a drug. These are direct effects because the reality is that drugs have direct effects on the entire body system, including the brain. Of course. Of course it does, man. Right? I'm going to skip this part. Who was the main one behind the system of pharmacy and the administration of poisonous drugs that Babylon uses to deceive all nations? A logo or symbol reveals the values and the purpose of a business, organization, or professional occupation. They use a logo or symbol as an identifying mark to the world, right? In other words, that logo makes a direct link to a business occupation. When a person thinks of the swoosh, they immediately think of the Nike Corporation. The symbols and logos of modern medicine clearly reveal who is behind the scenes orchestrating the whole system of the administration of poisonous drugs that manipulate the bodies and minds of billions of people around the world. Let's just look at 3 recognizable symbols and unmask the truth. The symbol in figure A is the international symbol for pharmacy known as the bowl of Hygeia. Who is Hygeia? Hygeia comes from the Greek mythology. Mythology is the study of myths and lies and pagan false gods. In other words, though it is not true, millions worship it as if it is true. Who is the father of lies? Satan. According to Greek pagan worship, Hygeia is the goddess of health and hygiene. You see how every day, man, hygiene, dental hygiene, body hygiene, you got to keep your hygiene. And now what do you hear? You hear that word evermore, right now. Hygienics. It's a ritual, corona, man. This whole thing is a damn ritual, man. Right? It says Hygeia is the goddess of health and hygiene, the daughter of Asclepius. He's the god of medicine, healing, and physicians. Eddie Rosenberg, a doctor in pharmacology and attorney, describes the meaning of the bowl of Hygeia. She says the bowl of Hygeia symbol is the most widely recognized international symbol of pharmacy. In Greek mythology, Hygeia was the daughter and assistant of Asclepius, the god of medicine and healing. Hygeia's classic symbol was a bowl containing a medicinal potion with the serpent of wisdom or guardianship partake in it, and that's the symbol also, the caduceus, right? The rod with the serpent around it, which goes back to Moses, which again, it just goes back to false gods, man. but that's also a symbol of medicine. You'll see that in a hospital, the caduceus, right? Um, this is the same serpent of wisdom which appears on the caduceus. Right there you go. I didn't read that word. The staff of Asclepius, which is the symbol of medicine. Okay, I'm not gonna read this part. Here we have the staff of Asclepius, or Lapius, sorry. His rod represents the healing aspects of the art of medicine. Many Christians think that this symbol is the same as the serpent of brass that Moses put on a pole, but it is not, even though, because these people, they actually worship Moses. They have their own things, part of, when you go into Talmud and different things like that. When we went to Ottawa in the parliament, there was a bunch of different symbols. But there was a statue, I believe, of Moses we looked at. And there's also another statue of Moses, I think, in Winnipeg or Manitoba. I believe either the parliament, or not the parliament, the one of the Congress or legislature building. They have Moses there with horns, though. They put horns on him. So, hey man, that's the occult world, man. That's for the occult world. Because they recognize Moses had the power, man, when he defeated the Magi's, right? It says the serpent on the rod is a counterfeit to Moses' bronze serpent on the pole. This counterfeit symbol gives a false message that the serpent is wise and harmless, right? Remember, the serpent on the rod of Asclepius is the same serpent that is drinking from the bowl of Hygeia. The message that the serpent of the satanic symbol is also given is that it is okay to take the poisonous magic potent from the bowl. These symbols that are used to represent the professions of pharmacy and medicine are given a deceptive message from Satan that taking poisonous drugs are wise and has the power to heal and not kill. Right? Right? Here it is as well. Right? It says the caduceus, also known as a magic wand, belongs to the Greek god Hermes or the Roman god Mercury. These gods are supposed to be the messengers of gods, inventors of magic, communicators to the dead, which is necromancy, and one who protects business and thieves. Many in witchcraft and sorcery still use the caduceus for magic and to cast spells. Also, the caduceus in sorcery is known to restrain and control its victims. And they got you shook, man. When that doctor comes in and he says, "Sir, you have 4 months to live," or "We have to, you have stage 3 such and such," and these people look at these men as gods, man. My doctor, he told me, "Oh, my doctor, yes, thank you, doctor." And be like, he can save your damn life, man. People are faithless, spineless beings, man. In Greek mythology and the occultic world, the caduceus has nothing to do with medicine, healing, or health. So why has modern medicine adopted the caduceus as their symbol of medicine? Remember its original function and meaning. Who holds the caduceus? The false god of Mercury holds it. What is his claim? Inventor of magic, conductor of the dead, protector of merchants, and they are merchants, man. So every time you swipe that health card, the doctor gets a piece, and he prescribes you more and more things, man. That's why we just read it's they spend the most on healthcare, but it's the worst in health because it's just a bunch of schemes with the pharmaceutical companies that bring out these drugs every year, and the FDA that clears them, even though there's 20 different side effects. There's drugs, man, that at the end they'll say this may result in death. But that's why they read it fast, man. And then the psychological part is they have a grandpa on a swing with the sun beaming on him and he's smiling. This may result in suicide, depressive thoughts, anxiety, hallucinations, sleep deprivation, weight loss, increased blood pressure. And he's just smiling. Because you don't hear it, you just see. We see, Esau's, he knows about psychology, man. There's nothing he can hide from me, right? He is wiser than Daniel. All right, merchants, thieves, and to restrain, to control, and is his claim. Could it be that modern medicine has adopted the caduceus as their symbol of medicine and physicians to protect the merchants of the earth that make billions of dollars poisoning people, and to protect the corporate thieves and to control and restrain masses of people? This may shock you. Even though the caduceus had nothing to do with healing or medicine, an officer in the U.S. Army Medical Corps in 1902 insisted to adopt the caduceus as their symbol. Right, and show you Baphomet. Right? And if that doesn't show you that this is demonic, I don't know what will. Yeah, this guy too. I remember this guy. Did you know that the father of pharmacology was an occultist? He was a worshipper of Satan. Born as Philippus Aurelius Theophrastus Bombastus von Hohenheim. Right? I remember this dude from that book I mentioned, Back to Eden. They mentioned the dude that switched the whole system of medicine in Europe from the traditional herbalists to the pharmaceutical system. Right? How it switched. It was from this guy. In 1493, he called himself Paracelsus. He was well known as a Swiss-German physician, botanist, alchemist, astrologer, and general occultist. He founded the field of toxicology, better known as pharmacy. For hundreds of years, physicians used natural herbs and food for healing. Paracelsus defied this notion from his studies on chemistry and metallurgy with the mix of occultic worship and astrology. He theorized that metals such as mercury, lead, tin, copper, and gold could purify the body. He believed that the stars and planets were the main cause of human illness and disease. He believed that all diseases should be treated with metals which are poisonous to the body. And this is what the hell I'm talking about, man. This is Job 30, base men. You foolish men. You know? Men of physicians of no value. You Edomites are backwards as hell, man. Alright? This was a very radical practice during his time. He treated many diseases with mercury, better known as quicksilver. Many physicians who bought into Paracelsus' method and used quicksilver, mercury, also known as quacksalber, were known as quacks. And it's funny now that they actually call natural herbalists and homeopaths, oh, you guys are quacks, meaning you're a nutso. But it applied to you damn idiots first, man. But you switched it, because that's your nature, being a devil, man. This was a very rebellious way of treating the body at the time. Say Back to Eden, they quoted, right? Many died as a result of Paracelsus' way of treatment. At 50 or 51 years old, the story is told that Paracelsus was thrown out of the window by other physicians at the time who believed him to be very dangerous in 1541. It is amazing today that Paracelsus is known as the father of modern pharmacy. Alright, you got it from where? Baphomet. Satan. I'm just going to try to do a lot of dense information, so I'm just trying to skim through it. Yeah, it's $1 trillion, right? Administering drugs, it's trillions of dollars, man. This thing is a lot of money, right? Yeah, that was it, man. I mean, that was the point. So, I hope brothers and sisters are ratified. But yeah, man, that was a little thing that happened today. And I'm just like, damn, they got rid of the man's formulas, and they really worked. I took a few, I gave it to other people. I took an intestinal colon cleanse from Dr. Christopher's, and that thing cleared me out, man. I gave other formulas. I gave my own father one of his formulas for cataract, eye cataract, and it helped the man. And he didn't need to see a eye surgeon or anything like that, eye doctor, nothing. So hey, this place is wicked. But with that, I want to say Kahalalim la Yahweh Bashim Yahushai Bashim Rakakudash, the blindness to the apostles of GMS who rule well, who I've learned the truth from, and salutations unto you Akim and Aquathim that take heed in sincerity and in truth. Until next time, Lord's will, let's say Shalom.